Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, my transformational channel. And my name is Jenny Steinberg. Please sign up to the channel, subscribe, put likes. All your likes are much appreciated. And today's guest is my dear friend, an incredible hypnotherapist, licensed clinician, Elena Hottenlock. Elena, welcome. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course, it's my total pleasure. And we have a super exciting topic today. Elena is not just a hypnotherapist, an amazing clinician. She's got tons of years of experience. But what's really cool, she started using neurographics for working with people, for healing people. And I got a little bit exposed to the technique recently at the conference. And since I love to paint, I'm very artistic. These are my paintings, by the way. I love art. And I got so excited about combining working with my subconscious and painting and drawing as a technique. And apparently, it turns out that it's not just a technique, it's super powerful technique. And I wanted to share it with the world. And nobody is better than Elena who can tell us about how effective it is, how easy and yet powerful the technique is, and how it's so much fun as well. So, Elena, I'm gonna transfer mic to you, and please go ahead. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, a little bit more about the technique, and we'll go from there.
Thank you so much. So, as Jenny said, I'm licensed clinician, so I do psychotherapy for my job, for my main job, and I also working as a hypnotherapist for quite a few years. This is another passion of mine, and I attend conferences. I learn so many different approaches in hypnotherapy. And Neurographica, this is what we're going to talk about today, is another incredible tool. I don't know if Pavel Piskarev, who is
Founder.
founder of this technique, would agree with me or not. I hope he does. But I consider Neurographica one of the hypnotic tools, actually, because Neurographica works with subconscious and conscious mind. And in hypnotherapy, we work with subconscious mind, where our conscious mind always being present. And very often, it's actually interrupt with our work and with changes we wanted to make. Neurographica engage conscious and actually give it very important task. So it doesn't interrupt. It's actually works with subconscious mind, and Neurographica actually work with different levels of subconscious mind. In hypnotherapy, we kind of say, well, conscious mind, subconscious mind, conscious mind is about 7% of our mind, and everything else recorded in subconscious mind.
I thought it was 5%.
Maybe, well, let's put it that way, at best,
Sure.
7%, right? Because there is no math in that, it's approximate number. So
A
when we
total
say
estimation.
it's basically representation, right? Like it's a representation of our conscious mind is so small. And often we say a lot, emotion always beat the logic. Logic is our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. This is all emotions and experiences recorded
Mm-hmm.
in our supercomputer, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So in Neurographica, Pavel Piskarev, he even went forward and he actually explaining level of subconscious mind, where individual levels of subconscious and collective egregores elements and connection to absolute universe, God, whatever you want to call it. So in Neurographica, we work with every level of our mind. And this technique engage our creativity. It's art. It's abstractive art, engaging our mind, rewiring our neurons connections as we going through the process. With Neurographica, Neurographica basically we can use in so different aspects of our life. We can work on traumatic experiences and our emotions, change our habits. We can work with business projects,
With goals,
actually,
with
with
goals, right?
goals, with time, with planning. Sometimes I even think it's like too good to be true. It's working almost like a magic because as we're working on our neuron connections, it's actually change in our environment.
Yes.
We work with energy, and as we change us, we change people, events, stuff around us. So it's almost like a magic.
We basically change our reality with this
Rewrite our reality.
rewrite, recreate, rewire our reality, I guess. Because as we both know, our reality is actually like a mirror. It's a reflection of what's really happening inside of us. And for a long time, I thought they were saying that everything is a mirror of what's inside of me. And I really thought it was like nice phrase. Yeah, and some level I'm like, maybe it's some kind of truth to it. And the more I do this kind of work with people and with myself, because I think working with ourselves is just as important, I figure out like it not maybe possibly on some level, it is kind of 100%. Whatever's inside of us is manifestation of our life. Is that what
Well,
you is that what
it's
you
basically, again, if I'm not a mathematician, but I would say 80%, right? Like, again, it's not a math, but it's representation of that most, whatever is going on in our life, for 80% it exists only in our mind. That's it. Only our view of what
perception
we have, our perception of what's going on.
of the reality? But I'll take it a step further. I would say that we do create our own reality as well. Not only we perceive it in certain ways, so this event happens, right? So I perceive it this one way, you, Elena, perceive it another way, Mr. X is going to perceive it even the third way, right? But I'm going to take it the step further. Even the fact that this something happened, I would say it actually manifestation of my neural pathways that are actually creating, it's like attracting this event into my life in order for me to either experience it or learn a lesson from it, right? So if we were like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going to ask you that question. If we were to rewire what is inside of us using different techniques that we have here, Neurographica or hypnosis that we do on a daily basis, even attraction of this event into our life may change. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. Think about it. I always tell my clients, if I said to myself, I can't do that,
Mm-hmm.
guess what? I can't.
It's your program.
You program yourself, I
Mm-hmm.
can't.
Mm-hmm.
If you would say, it's going to be difficult,
It will be.
or this is interesting. If you can say, this is horrible
Mm-hmm.
versus this is interesting.
Totally different. You creating totally different environment to appear in your reality.
You set yourself up
Set yourself.
what you're going to do about it. an approach. Are you going to sit in the pain again? Like it's a pain or resource.
Mm-hmm.
What it is for you, it's kind of your choice. Sometimes it's difficult choice. But if you sit in the pain, you really continue to sit in the pain. You have very small chance to do something about it.
To change where you are, to change your reality, to change your orbit. It's going to be very hard to jump the next orbit or next one, right? So this jump is what we're looking for in the line of work that we do, right? We want to make sure that people having this quality of life right here changes to the next level, whatever that next level is, right? For everybody in every aspect of life could be very different for every person. And Neurographica is yet another super powerful tool for that, which is also super fun. So, Elena, I want to ask you a couple of questions. Like, there are people that are watching right now, they're thinking, okay, I wanna this, and that. So let's start with, let's say, relationships. People experiencing difficulty finding a partner or having kind of destructive on some level relationships they're currently in, divorce, basically a million and a half different flavors of destructive relationships. What would you recommend from neurographical perspective for that situation?
Well, what I found, what Neurographica, for example, again, everybody start on different level. Like if you talk about levels, right? Like somebody start from here, somebody start from there. And again, how quick Neurographica gonna work, again, depend on what stage you start in and where do you want to kind of, what level you're gonna go to. So, but I found out that very often people labeling stuff, relationship, happiness, peace, they really don't want, they really don't know what it is, what does it mean for them. So Neurographica actually help you to, so to speak, think about, well, it's really related to our conscious mind, but really think, examine, really investigate what it is for you, relationships. What is healthy relationship you're looking for? So it started with, so to speak, fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fantasy. What would I want to have in relationships? Fantasy is just a fantasy. There is no you in that fantasy. It's like just kind of like a cloud,
Illusion.
illusion. Then the next level, you go into second level where now you have a dream. Dream, what kind of relationships I want to have. Now in a dream, you already have yourself. You have your role. You already have something concrete about what you're looking for. When we go to third level, we go in through our opportunities. So
Mm-hmm.
now Neurographica process helping you to identify those opportunities you have in life. We all have opportunities in life, right? Fourth level, Pavel Piskaryov, very often in many of coaching algorithms using a quadrant system where like we go through four different quadrants and fourth quadrant, so to speak, fourth level is where reality creation, where this is what I'm gonna do, this is steps I'm gonna take. That goal cannot not happen. How to
What
say that
happened?
in
Right.
English?
Yes, yes.
Double negative, right? How to say that? We can say that
There's
in
no
Russian.
chance. There's
It
no
cannot,
chance to
it doesn't
escape.
have a chance not to come to our reality.
And
So, but it's
how long?
actually setting up, but again, it's setting up our mind whole when I talk about our mind is again conscious and subconscious, where our conscious and subconscious working together on one goal, where you know what you want, you kind of identify where you're going, you identify what you want, you're looking for opportunities, and you already see steps you have to take to make it happen, so to speak. It's even like, when you start to break it out, it's like magic. You lose magic. It's work like a magic, but reality, it's not really magic. It's like you rewire your neuron to see and seek that reality you want to see. Maybe you notice in your life when you started to, I don't know, that recent things. I've got a new car, and I thought that my car is very unique. And then I started to drive in it. Then I started to see like half of the town I live in driving the same car. And it's like, wow, reality is work. Like whatever you focus on, grow up in your life. Whatever you focus, where you bring your attention, that's become bigger. So at that point, if you focus on the pain, your pain grows. If you focus on resources, if you focus on your goal, your mind really kind of tunes to that
into that.
level, tunes on those opportunities. Now maybe you would walk and didn't see those opportunities. Now you see, you catch it, you get in it, you really like kind of on the goal. And this is how it's happened.
You're tuning. It's like, you know what I was thinking the other day? We have certain programs in mind, right? And having a program is like subscribing to a magazine. Like I have a program that this and that is what should we take as an example? Like everybody needs to work hard in order to make a lot of money. Example, right? So that's a program given to us via parents, anywhere you hear it, like as long as it's like in your mind, that's your program. And it's like subscribing to the magazine. This is the analogy I made for myself yesterday. So if you subscribe to that magazine, it's going to arrive to your house. And you're going to be reading it. And it's going to be about everybody works hard to make the living. But if you don't subscribe, that program exists in the universe. The universe is composed of all different possibilities, many programs. That program exists somewhere here, right? But I don't assume it. I do not subscribe to that magazine, to that program that working hard is going to make me money. So I start subscribing to a different magazine or program. Money comes easily to me for whatever reason. That's my program. Money comes easily to me. I'm prosperous. I have tons of clients that paying me really well. That becomes my program. This is the magazine I'm subscribing. It arrives at my door. So it sounds like a Neurographica can actually help you subscribe to the proper magazine.
Exactly.
Is this
Yes.
okay?
It's helping you to program your perception that this is what, like, money is easy, right? Exactly. You can work with money, with on your money goal with this tool. Money is easy, or it's so hard. I don't deserve it.
I don't deserve it. Another bad one. Yes, yes, yes. I did.
Or money is bad. Only bad people.
Only bad people can make money. Yeah. People that make money are really bad people. You don't want to be a bad person. Like intrinsically, I think even like the worst people in the world, intrinsically, they don't really want to be bad people. They just have all sorts of excuses for themselves, but I don't think they intrinsically, because our soul is very, very pure. We have a lot of stuff on top of it. But deep inside, right? We want to be really as pure as it gets and perceived as that. So Leon, let's talk. The question I had as you were talking was, you said there's 4 levels, and level number 4, step number 4, you have no chance of missing your goal. So if someone decides to work with you on a project, let's say making tons of money, and subscribing to easy money. From step 1 to step 4, what's the effort? How long, how much effort is it? What's it gonna take?
As I said before, we all started on a different levels. We don't even know sometimes when we start where we start. I'm doing a Neurographica. I'm working with that tool for myself for about 3 years now. And I did ton of trainings, all the different algorithms and stuff. And within last year, I started to work on the level of to become instructor Neurographica. So I could teach, and I can teach people to use that wonderful, fantastic
Tool, yeah. And toy at
uh,
the same time. Yeah, it's
right. And when we started to, I know that I know personally, I know with people I already work with, some of the clients I already work. Some of the stuff you really have to draw many drawings, so to speak. And some stuff, like I said, it's working like a magic. You draw it and then it's happened like next day. And you're like, what just happened? But I guess it is just your neuron contour was ready, and you just need a little bit push, and after one drawing, you're already there. Where other stuff, you still have to change many connections, change your beliefs to achieve your goals.
Can you change beliefs with Neurographica?
Definitely, like as I said, you can work with behaviors, you can work with emotions, you can work with trauma, traumatic experiences. I can say that I'm licensed clinician, so I actually, like Neurographica, it's such a wonderful method. You can call it
Versatile.
art therapy, but art therapy is much smaller than Neurographica. It's just Neurographica is much bigger than that. It's not just art therapy.
Mhm.
Um, I when I just tried first time for myself, I realized it's hypnotic method. It's a token hypnosis.
Absolutely.
Incredible.
Can a person, once they learn from you, can the person be, can they work on their own, independently, or they always need like a supervision from a professional like you who studied it for a long time, who's an instructor? Let's say me, right? If I want to start using that for my needs, do I need to have a supervision?
Well, if you are new in Neurographica, you definitely need a supervision. And best way, of course, to really have to work with somebody who's going to provide you feedback, because Neurographica has certain rules, certain so to speak laws, so to speak important rules you really don't want to violate in the safety,
So can it cause
for this for the safety reasons. So when you do it first time, definitely you need a close supervision. Now, of course, there is a foundational user course what you can take, and it's going to basically give you foundation where you would be able to work on anything, any topic in your life. It could be personal, it could be business, it could be work, relationship, whatever it is, even with first level foundational basic course, gonna give you basically basic knowledge to use it safely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But of course, it's very big, and then it's so many different levels where you learn more and you can use it more effectively, because now you take into consideration how color would affect how soon you're going to be able to make those changes, for example. So you have to learn about how you use colors in Neurographica. You're going to learn what it is best for you to use it in different situations with different topics. There is a neuro composition course where it's gonna teach you how to create a composition for Neurographica as you're working with different topics, different programs in your life. I don't want to say issues. I want to avoid that.
Smart.
So it's at this point, I see it as a bottomless. It's like you can go deeper and deeper and deeper.
Mhm.
And even though from the beginning you're going to have incredible results, but at this point, I don't think it's even possible to reach bottom,
Yeah, so you like
to
gonna
know everything about it.
mm-hmm. So Leon, you just mentioned that safety reasons. Can you speak a little bit more to that? Like doing something wrong can lead to what? And what really doing something wrong means in this case?
So, for example, Neurographica is a very powerful tool. So let's say I'm new in that
Mm-hmm.
and I started to drawing
Mm-hmm.
and I see some changes and I'm like, I get excited and I'm still like, oh, wow, let me just draw 10 drawing a days. And I want to change money. I want to change relationships. I want to change, what
Health?
else do I want to change? So you started to draw. Oh, okay, I can sit and draw all day long, right? Well, remember, you change your neurons, right? Like even in as a hypnotherapist, you know that as we work with people, most of the time people feel different, better, so to speak, right away.
Mm-hmm.
But very often, hypnosis continue for the next few days,
Yes.
sometimes even up to 2 weeks. And it's really those changes continue to occur for next, whatever, up to 2 weeks.
Actually, I heard it's up to even 6 months. Up to 6 months, yes. Same.
Clients who told me that they didn't feel anything until next, like within about a month or so, they would realize, they would react to
Yeah.
certain events what used to be a problematic. Now they caught themselves that it's not a problem anymore and they react and deal with that very different. So same thing, if you're gonna rule number one, if you just started, no more than one drawing a day, because you're changing your neuron connections, you really want to make sure that those changes going to be
Solidified.
ecological.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to create more conflicts in your life when you need to, when you can handle, because again, changes means getting out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot change without getting out of your comfort zone. So this is the rule. Then as we go in, let me tell you another one. As we go in through a process of Neurographica, working on whatever we're working on, we go on through, we go through the basic, what it's called basic algorithm, where we're going through all different levels of our subconscious mind and making changes on different levels of our subconscious mind. We're going through 8 states. And very often what happens then, people have a resistance because change is not only uncomfortable for us, change is uncomfortable for environment we're in. So people started to work. Somebody needs you, your children, your animals. I had a situation when I had a clog in the bathroom and water started to come out. It's sometimes stuff, crazy stuff going on. So, is it possible that, like, let's say, well, Elena, if I have to stop, can I stop and finish my work later?
Mm-hmm.
You can, but you have to follow certain safety rules and certain steps you really have to complete before you can put it down for safety reason, like you working with conflict. So you have to first kind of harmonize those conflicts energy you brought up, what you're working on. There is a way to harmonize it. And if you have to stop, you can stop safely. So, but you have to know about that.
And that's why we need you for that. We need your help, your support, and your guidance. So I just want to tell everybody, so if you want to try Neurographica, we have an amazing specialist who works in person as well as online, because I work with Elena online. I live in Chicago suburb and Elena lives in North Carolina. We're like
In South Carolina, I'm in Myrtle Beach. So if anybody wants to come for vacation and want to make changes,
me,
have fun,
me.
enjoy yourself while you're working on the stuff you want to work, please find me in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina,
Mhm.
and we will work together.
That is super exciting. So back to my question. If I have a project, you kind of covered one side of my question, and then I want to kind of specifically cover, let's say somebody would like to use your services, right? And they would like to achieve, let's say, a goal of reaching certain amount per month in their earnings, right? They just want to make a certain amount of money. Let's say $1,000 per month, at least. For that project to complete it, start to finish. I know everybody's at a different point. Let's take somebody at kind of the lowest point in time. Let's take the worst case scenario. To achieve this, not the worst in terms of the person being bad or anything, just, on a scale from 1 to 4 levels, right? They're starting from the bottom and they want to achieve this amount of money. What do you think is the time frame for that person to get the result, given they work on it, let's say weekly?
Well, unfortunately, I can't give you time frame, right? That would be wonderful. I have to tell you, as you probably know, when people come to us
Mm-hmm.
um, with an issue,
Mm-hmm.
very often we say issue is never the issue. So when people come to for a money issue, so to speak,
Yeah.
we have to really see what is the issue. So we start to work, and of course, we will be able to figure out what is the issue and what we're working on, so to speak.
I understand.
Simple, like with those type of techniques, simple behavior is relatively easy. Simple behavior, like, I don't know, when I work on smoking cessation, right? It's
Right.
one session. It's quite a long session, but it's one session, and people are done. Simple behavior. You want to get rid of that. You decided to get rid of that. It's
No
easy.
problem. It's easy. Right.
Then people have deeper issues and they have symptoms.
Right.
So sometimes it
Everybody
takes a while.
heals. Yeah, everybody heals at a different rate. That's for sure. But from what I'm hearing, and please correct me, we're not going to talk about that goal per se, but people will start seeing the difference pretty much right away, right? It may not be the goal, but it could be a series of small steps that we'll start seeing pretty much right away. Is that kind of accurate to say?
Yes. I have one of the people I work with, and after we did first drawing, her doctor called next day and offered treatment which wasn't available before. Next day.
That's huge, and it may not be a full cure for the person, but it's definitely a huge step.
It's opportunity. It is opportunity.
It's a big
Again, it's
opportunity that she waited for a long time, and it like happened instantly because she was ready for it. She was
right.
ready to
Like
receive.
one day you have no options, you're out of options.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, doctor
Care,
call and say
and
like, here, this is what come. So something came
that's
overnight.
amazing. That's truly truly amazing. And it's another tool in your toolbox, right? Because there's a tool for everybody, right? There's something for everybody in this world. I love drawing, for example, right? So I love using this tool, but somebody else wanted classical psychology, right? Somebody wants classical hypnosis. Somebody wants something else, right? It's yet another technique that is
Right.
out there.
I just want to mention though, I always said that I'm a person who cannot draw two parallel lines. And I consider myself, that was my limiting beliefs, that I'm not an artist. I don't like art. I could not imagine that art
That
techniques could actually work for me. But as I said, I worked with that tool 3 years for myself. Recently, I went to a conference and I did a presentation on that topic to introduce that topic to our community in the United States. It's quite new, I think, still. And I actually look through my work from the beginning. And as you do that work, you write down where you start, what happened, how you feel after you finish with that work. And then with certain topics, when you're working, I really have,
I wanted you to show us.
let's say I have
Uh-huh.
my drawing, but on another side, I have actually my thoughts about it. So as I look through my work for the last 3 years since beginning of I started to do that work, I realized I wasn't even aware that it works so well. It was like kind of good, like I felt good. But then I read through that where I was and where all the different topics I work with, how it's moved. It was amazing. I was like, wow.
That's amazing. And you just mentioned that you couldn't draw. And the first thought I had,
It wasn't my things.
you
This
wouldn't
is not
like it.
something I'm
Right.
interested. No. Oh,
And I was just thinking, and it would be helpful for everybody, I think. A lot of times, what we don't like, what we're afraid of, if we go there, like literally go there where we don't want to go, what we don't like, we'll find gold. Normally, gold lives there. Our biggest fears, our biggest dislikes, if we go there, we're gonna find gold. And this sounds like happened to you.
for sure. And I like to tell the people I work with, it doesn't matter if you believe in it. If it doesn't, it really doesn't matter. You don't have to believe in hypnosis. You don't have to believe in Neurographica. You don't have to believe in any tool specific I
Mm-hmm.
may have for you.
Mm-hmm.
Most important is really you're ready for changes and you have open mind. Like basically you're ready for changes. You want to make those changes. You have clear picture where you want to go. It
Yeah, I
will
love it.
work.
Yeah. That's huge. Exactly. And I work with a lot of skeptics, and they usually tell me, I'm a skeptic. Skeptics don't normally get results with this kind of work. I'm like, skeptics are my favorite client. They don't have any preconceived notions. They're not looking for something. It just happens. So doesn't matter whether you're skeptic, whether you believe in God, in higher power. I mean, it's hard not to, but it's your choice. If you believe, not believe, it just works. Isn't it amazing? And you draw at the same time, and you have fun, and you're meditating. You don't have to believe in anything, and it just happens for you. Love it.
For sure. It's even better. Some people, right, you don't have to believe. You have to be ready to make changes.
To make changes, want the change in your life. And Elena, you can help so many people. There's so many people that need our help out there. They may not even realize they need help, right? I mean, people are asking me, who are your clients? Who would benefit from this kind of work and your kind of work? And I'm like, everybody. I'm a specialist. I benefit from this kind of work. every single person, there's always something we can improve in our life. There's always something.
As we are alive, we always, doesn't matter who it is, we always want something more. If we
Yeah,
have this house, we want that house. If we
better
want
house.
this car, we want that car. We have this relationship, we would like our partner big, change a little bit. Again, it's our perception, like we only can change ourselves. But like again, we never, I guess human race is the kind of animals. We're never happy with what we have. And as we are alive, we always have a goal. When you arrive to the point where you don't want anything anymore,
You're dead. That's
you're not.
death. That's death. Yeah. When you don't want anything anymore, that's death. And having wishes and desires is exceptionally healthy. And if someone doesn't have any wishes and desires, I suggest this is where the person needs to start their journey. Like if feelings are not there anymore, feelings of happiness, interest to wake up in the morning, if any of that applies, it means wishes and desires are gone. Wishes and desires, I think it's a fundamental thing that holds us in this life. And especially, honestly, I feel like a lot of need a lot of help with respecting what their wishes and desires are, making new ones, generating them, having aspirations. Men, of course, too. But for us women, it's critical to want things.
Yes, I just wanted to say I work with men and women. We all
We all need to,
need help, a lot of help.
yeah, yeah, definitely. We all
Um, we
support.
all have goals. We
Yeah,
all have desires to thrive.
yeah. And if you don't, then we can help with that as well,
Definitely.
right? So
We can
this,
start with fantasy.
I love.
This is where when I talk about 4 levels, right? Fantasy, dream, opportunities,
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
changing in realities. So we can start with fantasy.
That sounds amazing. So if you'd like to connect, please subscribe to the channel, put a like. We really appreciate all the likes. You know how to contact either of us. You're welcome to try our services. Elena is incredible with Neurographica. I have my own set of techniques, so don't hesitate. We all know that we need some sort of help. You know where to find us. Thank you so much, Elena. It's been very, very fun, very informative. I just love your energy. I love what you do. Total pleasure having you here and working with you. And we're going to talk again because I have so many questions. So we're going to record another program. It was super fun. I appreciate it.
Sure.